babes, I am still completely physically shaking. Like, we have to talk about that final sequence immediately.
Oh, we absolutely do.
Because when she went to jump into the pond to save him, and it was dead silent.
Literally not a single ripple.
No bubbles, no magical swirling vortex, nothing. Just a solid, terrifying, completely frozen mirror of ice.
A literal temporal lockdown.
Yes. And then that face looking up from underneath the water. I literally screamed. I had to pause my screen.
See, but honestly, the true horror wasn't even the frozen pond for me.
Wait, really? How could it not be?
Because it was the absolute, undeniable proof of Elliot's psychological break.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on him.
I mean, he is a mastermind manipulator at this point.
Yeah.
He didn't just accidentally get left behind in 1925. He planned the entire thing.
It is so messed up.
He orchestrated his own trapping down to the fake sabbatical. The man is in a full-blown villain era, and I am actually kind of here for it.
I cannot even handle the betrayal of it all. But, Beeps, welcome back. And happy Monday.
A very happy Monday to the Snark Squad.
We know. We usually hate Mondays, but babes, spending it with you. Elite babes, thank you for being here.
Honestly, it is the only way to survive the start of the week.
Exactly. Welcome to the Snark side, babes. And honestly, we've had an amazing weekend. Chaotic, but amazing.
Chaotic is an understatement, honestly.
Oh, right. We survived our niece's birthday party yesterday, which, let me tell you, a bouncy house filled with 7-year-olds hopped up on fruit punch.
It was terrifying.
It is a level of unhinged I was not fully prepared for.
It was essentially a Lord of the Flies situation, but with, like, a Princess Elsa theme.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was genuinely terrified for my physical safety. The sheer kinetic energy in that room could have powered a small city.
But the highlight was definitely seeing Joan and Felicia today, our absolute original Snark queens.
Icons. Absolute icons.
We had brunch, and it just reminded me where we get all of our analytical attitude from. It is completely genetic.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
We learned from the masters of observation.
Right. But between the family chaos, the absolute noise level of that party, and surviving solely on birthday cake leftovers.
Which were Costco sheet cake, obviously.
Obviously. The elite tier of cakes.
There is no other acceptable option.
Exactly. But it made me realize something. Why does the weekend somehow disappear in exactly 5 minutes?
Because the universe is fundamentally unfair, I think.
I mean, you blink on Friday at 5 and it's gone.
It's a localized glitch in our perception of time. Which honestly feels very fitting for our topic today.
Oh, totally.
But it's actually a documented psychological phenomenon. When our brains are overstimulated, when we are constantly processing new sensory input.
Like a child's birthday party.
Exactly. Or navigating a crowded brunch. We aren't forming the same type of long-term memory anchors we do when we are focused on a singular, quiet task.
Oh, wow. So it literally just blurs together.
Precisely. So you blink and suddenly it's Sunday night, the Sunday scaries are hitting hard, and you're staring at a wall wondering what happened the last 48 hours.
That makes perfect sense. And it brings up a huge debate I want to get into with you today.
Oh, here you go.
Okay, babes, can we talk about resting for a minute?
Please.
Because, honestly, after a busy weekend like that, do we actually feel energized? Or are we completely exhausted?
I am thoroughly depleted.
Right. I feel like I need a weekend to recover from my weekend.
You absolutely do. Because modern adulthood has turned resting into a highly strategic, calculated decision.
Yes. It's so true.
It's no longer just taking a nap. It is a tactical retreat.
A tactical retreat. I love that.
We live in a society that commodifies our time, so even our leisure activities start to feel like an item on a to-do list.
There is this weird adult pressure to always be doing something. Like, if you don't have plans, you're somehow failing at the weekend.
The societal pressure to go to a farmer's market is immense.
It really is. You look at social media, and everyone is hiking or baking artisanal bread or doing whatever. So you make the plans, and you go to the brunch, and you do the birthday party, and you end up just socially exhausted.
Which is entirely avoidable, by the way.
Well, see, I really want to unpack the difference between social exhaustion and being lonely. Because for me, I actually prefer being around people.
Which I will never understand.
I really do. I get energized by socializing, and even when I'm physically tired, I believe those memories are worth the exhaustion. Like, I love the chaos. It makes me feel alive.
See, this is where we fundamentally disagree on the mechanics of human energy.
I know we do.
I strongly prefer staying home. I would happily, joyfully, without an ounce of guilt, spend an entire weekend indoors speaking to absolutely no one.
You are a hermit.
Absolute peace and quiet is a top-tier luxury. Think about it like a battery.
Okay, lay it on me.
Socializing, even when it's fun, is an output of energy. You are processing social cues, maintaining conversation, navigating loud environments. It was a massive battery drain.
I guess it's true.
Staying home is the charger. You go out, you collect your little memories, and then you come back and complain that your feet hurt and you're tired. Meanwhile, I am already on the couch in my softest sweatpants, achieving absolute nirvana.
Okay, rude, but also incredibly accurate.
Thank you.
But it really makes you question what actually helps us recharge. Does staring at a wall cure the exhaustion, or does laughing with friends cure it?
It's the wall. The wall wins.
Well, I need the Snark squad to really think about this for themselves. Babes, how do you actually decompress? Because I honestly don't know anymore. I just know I'm tired.
It's a balance of neurochemistry. Laughter gives you dopamine and oxytocin, which feels good.
Yeah.
But silence lowers your cortisol, which is what actually allows your nervous system to recover.
So you need both.
Basically. But mostly it's the couch.
Which brings us to our decompression confessions.
Oh boy.
What do we both actually do after a hectic day to decompress? Because for me, it's comfort TV binges.
Naturally.
I will put on a show I have seen literally 14 times. I will doom scroll TikTok simultaneously, and maybe go for a long walk if I'm feeling ambitious.
The dual screen lifestyle.
It is. Mostly it's the TV and the scrolling.
It sounds counterintuitive, right? Using screens to relax from screens.
It's not counterintuitive if you understand what you're doing to your brain.
Wait, justify my bad habits for me?
Gladly. You need the sensory overload to quiet your internal monologue. By giving your brain a familiar show where you already know the outcome and a stream of short-form content, you occupy the active processing centers of your brain.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, which forces your anxiety to quiet down. You are essentially creating a white noise machine out of pop culture.
I am a genius.
Sure. I, on the other hand, lean the other way. I will cook an intricate meal because it requires physical focus and it is a strictly antisocial activity.
So antisocial.
Or I will read, or, and I cannot stress this enough, I will literally just stare at the wall doing absolutely nothing, just existing in silence.
You are practically a monk.
It is deeply restorative to remove all input. You should try it.
I think my brain would explode. But the one thing that instantly cures everything.
Yeah, babes. The ninja slush is once again working overtime in the background. Do you hear that beautiful humming?
It is the sound of healing.
Because tonight, babes, we are having frozen watermelon margaritas.
Incredible.
And babes, these are elite.
That appliance deserves a medal. Or at least to be claimed as a dependent on our taxes.
It really does. It's officially a member of the Snark squad at this point.
The MVP, honestly.
But let's spiral about this for a second. Why do frozen drinks instantly improve our mood?
It's science.
It's like the second the crushed ice hits your tongue, your credit card debt disappears, your boss isn't annoying anymore, and summer has officially arrived.
I fully treat frozen beverages like an actual personality trait at this point. It is my main coping mechanism.
I am already planning next week's flavor. Maybe a spicy mango. Or a classic strawberry.
I vote spicy mango.
Right. But I feel like watermelon is criminally underrated in the frozen drink category.
Watermelon is objectively the superior fruit for slushification.
Slushification.
Let's look at the science. The high water content, mixed with the natural sugars, creates the perfect thermodynamic environment for a slush. A slush is actually a fascinating state of matter.
Wait, really?
Yes, it's a suspension of ice crystals in a liquid syrup, existing right on the borderline between solid and liquid.
Wow, look at you getting all Bill Nye on my margarita.
I respect the physics of a good drink.
And we desperately need these drinks tonight. Because, babes, one of us made a terrible decision today.
A horrific miscalculation.
We went to Walmart.
Yeah.
For groceries on a Sunday afternoon.
I am still traumatized.
And babes, it was a nightmare.
It was an apocalyptic wasteland. The parking lot alone felt like a sociological experiment in human aggression.
Truly, people were just casually walking down the exact center of the parking lane, not a care in the world, totally oblivious to the cars.
Zero survival instincts.
And then you get inside, and the checkout lines are excruciatingly long.
Miles long.
And there's always that one person who casually leaves their shopping cart completely sideways to block the entire aisle while they stare blankly at the pasta sauce for 10 solid minutes.
The sheer lack of spatial awareness is staggering. I wanted to scream.
I know you did.
But there's a reason for it. Have you ever heard of the Gruen transfer?
No, wait, what is that?
It's a concept in retail architecture. Stores are intentionally designed to be slightly confusing, with overwhelming sensory stimuli, bright lights, and disrupted sightlines.
Seriously?
Yes, it is designed to intentionally cause a mild state of cognitive fatigue.
Oh my God.
When you get overwhelmed, you lose track of your original intentions, like just buying coffee creamer and paper towels.
Right.
And you become highly susceptible to impulse buying.
Oh my goodness, that is exactly what happened to us.
We fell right into the trap.
Because we were so stressed, we bought random things we absolutely did not need. We left with twice as much stuff as planned.
Including a wildly unnecessary 3-wick candle that smells like coastal driftwood, whatever that even is.
And a massive bulk bag of pirate's booty.
The pirate's booty was a survival purchase. We were emotionally compromised by aisle 12.
We really were.
But I bring up the Gruen transfer because it is the perfect analogy for what is happening to the characters we need to discuss tonight.
Oh, nice transition.
Thank you. They are experiencing temporal cognitive fatigue.
Okay, babes. Enough spiraling about our chaotic weekend, because we need to talk about this episode.
We really do.
This episode of The Way Home broke me. We need to unpack the absolute audacity of Elliot Augustine.
We need to dissect Elliot's entire psychological profile because this episode completely rewrote his character.
I was so emotionally devastated for Kat.
It was rough.
Think about this from her perspective. She comes back to the present. She's dripping wet. She is full-on panicking because the pond wouldn't let Elliot come with her.
Right.
She thinks it's a tragic accident. She thinks her safe harbor, her best friend, the love of her life, is just tragically trapped in the roaring 20s.
A helpless victim of the pond.
Exactly. And then she goes into his room to look for clues, and what does she find?
A literal serial killer conspiracy board of 1925 newspapers.
Yes. The newspapers are spread everywhere, and he is listed in them as Tom Buchanan.
The alias of the century.
And the absolute knife to the heart. The school calls and confirms his sabbatical was approved in advance.
Which means it wasn't an accident.
He planned it. He didn't slip into the past by mistake. How could he lie to her face and manipulate her into leaving him behind?
Because he finally got a backbone.
What?
Honestly, from a narrative standpoint, I applaud him. Welcome to your villain era, Elliot.
You would support this. You love a shady mastermind.
Let's look at the objective facts here.
Yeah.
For 4 seasons, he has been the wet blanket.
Okay. Sure.
He's been the one whining about the rules of time travel, constantly lecturing Kat that you can't change the past. He sat on his high moral horse for decades, guarding this secret, acting like he was the ultimate authority on the timeline.
He really did.
And the absolute millisecond, he realizes his own mother is wrapped up in this. He throws the entire rule book out the window.
It is so hypocritical.
He orchestrates an elaborate scheme, fakes a sabbatical, and it intentionally traps himself in a 1920s bootlegging ring. The hypocrisy is stunning, but the execution is flawless.
The hypocrisy is what makes me so angry, though. When Kat wanted to save Jacob, her literal brother, Elliot said it was too dangerous. But when it's Tessa, his mother, who completely abandoned him, he suddenly becomes a 1920s mobster.
People are blind when it comes to their own trauma.
But I want to talk about the literary shade of using the alias Tom Buchanan.
Oh, this was brilliant.
Elliot is an English teacher. The Great Gatsby was published in 1925 using the name of the ultimate arrogant, wealthy villain from the great American novel.
The symbolism is heavy-handed, but effective.
That is a massive psychological overcompensation.
It tells us exactly how Elliot views himself right now.
Yeah.
Think about who Tom Buchanan is in Gatsby. He is old money. He is a brute.
Yeah, he smashes things up.
Exactly. He is careless with other people's lives, smashing things up and retreating back into his wealth. Elliot is none of those things.
Not even a little bit.
Elliot is a mild-mannered, small-town teacher who has spent his entire life cleaning up other people's messes.
Yeah.
Specifically the Landry family's messes.
He's the cleanup crew.
By choosing the name Tom Buchanan, Elliot is trying on a persona. He is trying to be the brute. He wants to be the one who acts selfishly for once.
But it's an ill-fitting suit. He doesn't have the ruthless nature to pull it off.
Not at all.
He thinks he's playing this mastermind game, but he is so out of his depth. Which brings us to the actual mechanics of what he's doing in 1925, because the historical context here is terrifying.
Prohibition was a bloody era.
He is getting involved in a real violent era of organized crime, and that connects to the Lingermore mine explosion lore.
This is where the theory spirals get intense. We have to cross-reference this episode with the established lore from previous seasons.
Okay, walk me through it.
We know that a catastrophic explosion occurred in the Lingermore bootlegger tunnels. We know that 5 men were down in those tunnels when the explosion happened, but only 4 came out alive.
I remember that.
And crucially, we know that a pair of broken glasses was found in the rubble.
Oh my God.
Precisely. Now match that up with what just happened in this episode.
Elliot tracking down Tessa.
Yes. Elliot tracks down Tessa, she rejects him, and she has her goons clunk him on the head. His glasses are broken. Are we witnessing a closed time loop?
Wait. Explain the difference between a closed loop and an open loop for me, because this always breaks my brain.
Gladly. In an open loop time travel theory, jumping into the past allows you to change things, creating a new branching timeline. The future is unwritten.
Okay, like Back to the Future.
Right. But in a closed loop, also known as a predestination paradox, everything you do in the past was already part of history. You aren't changing the past, you are fulfilling it.
Oh, wow.
If this is a closed loop, Elliot's broken glasses in the rubble mean he was always the 5th man in that explosion. Yes. His attempt to find his mother in 1925 is the very thing that traps him in that mine.
I am physically sick at the thought of him in that mine. But wait, there's another angle.
What's your theory?
The newspaper Kat found in the present day says Tom Buchanan was arrested. What if Elliot isn't the victim of the explosion, but the scapegoat?
Taking the fall.
Exactly. What if he is taking the fall for Tessa? He is sacrificing his own freedom so his mother, who literally just had him beaten up, can get away.
Which would be the ultimate tragic irony. He tries to play the villain by calling himself Tom Buchanan, but he ends up playing the martyr, which is his core personality trait anyway.
He just can't help himself.
He can't escape who he is, and we need to look at the woman he is sacrificing himself for. Let's analyze Tessa.
Tess.
Kat and Elliot track her down to this speakeasy. We've been waiting for this emotional reunion all season.
And Tessa isn't just surviving, she is thriving as a mob boss.
Contessa Futura.
Running the bootlegging operation for Al Capone's syndicate.
It's quite the career change.
And when Elliot finally sees her, the mother who left him, he's so vulnerable.
He looked like a little boy.
He did. And she is ice cold. She completely rejects him.
Barely blinked.
She looks him in the eye and tells him that leaving him and his dad was the best choice at the time.
A devastating line.
And then she orders her muscle to knock her own son unconscious. My heart completely shattered for little baby Elliot.
It was dark.
All he wanted was his mom, and she is just a ruthless criminal. I was so furious. Where is her maternal instinct? How can a mother look at her child and feel nothing?
Because we keep projecting our own morality onto her.
Well, she's his mother.
Yes, but Tessa doesn't have a maternal instinct. And from an analytical perspective, I actually respect the narrative consistency here.
He would.
Look at her psychological profile. Tessa is fundamentally a con artist. We saw her steal Evelyn's tarot cards back in the 70s.
True, she was always shady.
She was always looking for the angle, the hustle. Now she's in the 20s playing a fake fortune teller, leveraging her knowledge of the future to run a highly lucrative mob operation.
So you're saying she didn't get trapped by accident either?
I'm saying she found an era where her specific sociopathic skill set could flourish.
Oh, wow.
She didn't want to be a mother in the present day, where she had responsibilities and a family tying her down. The 20s was an era of massive social upheaval, prohibition, and illicit wealth.
The perfect playground for a grifter.
Exactly. She found her perfect mark, the past itself. Honestly, it's better for Elliot to face that harsh, violent reality than to keep chasing a romanticized ghost of a mother who never actually existed.
That is just a brutal lesson in generational trauma.
It's the theme of the show, babes.
It really is. Elliot's entire life has been shaped by the absence of a woman who is actively choosing to be absent. It's so sad.
Tragic, really.
But to cleanse our palates of that incredible toxicity, we have to look at the other side of 1925. We have Fern and Cliff Kane.
The romance subplot?
Oh, the swooning I did.
The romantic tension was certainly engineered for maximum impact.
First of all, Fern admitting she never knew Auntie Coop was a time traveler was such a great detail.
It grounds the magic a bit.
Right, she just thought she was this fiercely independent, slightly eccentric woman. But the scene with Cliff...
Very dramatic.
When he tells Fern she is the brightest light in this cricket town and they kiss in the shadows of the speakeasy, I was literally screaming. It was pure cinematic romance.
It's very highly stylized, yes.
But then he pulls away. Because she is engaged to the absolute scoundrel, Grayson Goodwin. The angst, The forbidden romance. Babes, I love a good star-crossed lovers trope.
You love the angst, but I am looking at the family tree implications, and the math is highly concerning.
Uh-oh.
Why? The prevailing theory, which this episode essentially confirms, is that Cliff Kane is Colton and Griffin's grandfather.
Which makes perfect sense. It explains why Colton has that same gentle, protective spirit.
Yes, it explains why Cliff is drawn to Fern. But let's apply some critical thinking here.
Okay, ruin it for me.
If Cliff is Colton's grandfather, why is Colton's last name Landry and not Kane?
Oh, wait.
Exactly. Why is Cliff seemingly erased from the family history entirely?
I hadn't thought of that.
If Cliff and Fern have a child, presumably Colton's father, does Cliff die before they can legitimize the marriage? Or worse, does he die in the Lingermore explosion while Elliot gets arrested?
Oh, no. I reject this.
Think about it. The timeline in 1925 is setting up a massive bloody tragedy. Bootlegging, mob bosses, explosions. The Landry family history in the present day is full of holes.
So many holes.
I believe Cliff Kane is going to be erased.
Yeah.
We are looking at a variation of the grandfather paradox, but instead of someone going back in time to purposefully kill their grandfather, the mere presence of time travelers, Kat, Elliot, Tessa, is creating a butterfly effect that is going to get Cliff killed before his time.
You are stressing me out because that means Fern is going to lose him and she's going to have to raise that child alone, which completely explains the ongoing Landry curse.
Trauma echoing through the generations.
Well, which perfectly sets up the psychological state of the younger generation. Let's look at Alice in 1979.
Let's talk about Alice's complete refusal to live in the present.
She decides to defer college. And honestly, I completely understand needing a gap year.
Of course you do.
If my adolescence consisted of jumping through magic ponds, discovering my best friend was actually my teenage mom, and dealing with century-old family trauma, I would also need a minute before dealing with dorm room assignments and picking a major.
Fair point.
A gap year is a healthy boundary.
You call it a gap year, I call it arrested development.
Oh, harsh.
Alice has been living in the past for far too long. She is addicted to the nostalgia of an era she wasn't even born in.
She just loves the vibe.
Look at the etymology of the word nostalgia. It comes from the Greek nostos, meaning returning home, and elgos, meaning pain.
Wait, really?
Yes, it is literally an ache for a home that no longer exists.
Oh.
Alice is medicating her present-day anxiety with the 70s.
That is a deeply analytical way to look at it, but Casey clearly agrees with you. Casey fully calls her out on it.
Casey is the voice of reason.
That fight they have is so tense. Casey drops that incredibly ominous line, "Everything is a countdown to something."
Which is the most important line of the entire episode.
It gave me chills.
Casey is from the future. They know what's coming. When a time traveler from the future tells you that everything is a countdown, they are talking about entropy.
Entropy.
The inevitable collapse of the timeline. They are warning Alice that she is running out of time to fix herself.
That is terrifying. And then Alice, avoiding the hard truth, immediately jumps back to 1979.
Running away from her problems as usual.
Right to the New Year's Eve party at Coyle's as it's shutting down. And babes, I cried. I literally cried.
The waterworks began.
Dell is watching her wedding video on the projector, and you can see the absolute heartbreak on her face. She's mourning the family she doesn't have yet. She's mourning the miscarriages, the kids she thinks she'll never have.
The dramatic irony in that scene is suffocating.
It is. Because the cruelest part is that we, the audience, know the future. We know Dell will get those kids. She will have Kat and Jacob.
But it comes at a cost.
Exactly. Because we also know she's going to lose Jacob and she's going to lose Colton. The layers of grief are just too much. She is mourning a lack of children, and we know she is destined to mourn the loss of them. It's devastating.
It was a beautifully acted scene, and Griffin stepping up to support Colton was a really great character moment.
I loved Griffin in that scene.
But we cannot let the emotional weight of that scene distract from the absolute crime of this sequence.
What crime?
I am talking about Alice's complete lack of stealth and spatial awareness.
Oh no, here we go. You were about to roast her.
Evelyn recognizes Kat as the White Witch on Jasper's 1974 film reel.
Yes, the painting connection.
Exactly. Evelyn, the only person with actual critical thinking skills in this town, is putting the puzzle pieces together. So what does Alice do?
She steals the reel.
She steals the film reel to protect her mom. Fine, I understand the motive. But then she walks literally right outside the building and throws it into a municipal trash can on the sidewalk.
It was a highly emotional moment for her. She wasn't thinking straight.
She is a time-traveling fugitive.
Yeah.
You do not dump the smoking gun in a public trash bin 10 feet from the crime scene.
Where else was she supposed to put it?
Burn it. Unravel the celluloid. Bury it in the woods. Eat the film reel. Do anything other than put it in a trash can where Tessa, who is standing right there watching her, can clearly see exactly what she did.
Okay.
Her criminal skills are abysmal.
Fine. Yes. From a tactical standpoint, it was a terrible hiding spot because obviously the film ends up in Monica's 45th anniversary box in the present day.
Exactly.
The tape titled Summer of '74, which means someone, Tessa, Evelyn, whoever, fished it right out of that trash can. And you know Monica's going to play that tape at the Point's anniversary party.
That tape is a ticking time bomb. It is going to expose the whole family.
The whole town is going to see it.
The entire town is going to see Kat on that reel looking exactly the same in 1974 as she does in 2024.
It's going to be a disaster.
The Landry time travel secret is about to go entirely public, and it is 100% Alice's fault for not knowing how to use a dumpster properly. This is the danger of leaving out-of-place artifacts in the past. It ripples forward.
It's going to be absolute chaos. But amidst all this impending doom, we did get some romance in the present day.
A brief reprieve from the stress.
Because our modern couples are thriving, even if the timeline is breaking behind the scenes. Let's talk about Jacob and Abby.
The truck bed picnic.
The local wine. When Jacob starts talking passionately about the acidic soil of New Brunswick,
I have to say, I have never heard agricultural erosion and soil pH levels used as a pickup line before, but he somehow made it work.
it was so romantic. Let's break down what he actually said. He explained that New Brunswick has this core acidic soil, and he said it represents the hard work of their ancestors having to fight the land to make it their home.
Very poetic.
The agriculture was a metaphor. It's a metaphor for their relationship, fighting through the deep-rooted Goodwin-Landry grudge to build something beautiful. It's about planting roots in difficult ground.
And then she kisses him.
Yes. She tells him it's the perfect time to kiss her, and they kiss under the sunset. I was kicking my feet.
It was very idyllic, very
Okay.
picturesque, but I am highly suspicious of the romance on the other side of the farm. Sam and Dell.
Why? Dell remembered saying I love you to him when he rescued her after her concussion.
I know, but...
And then Sam sets up that beautiful outdoor movie date behind the barn. Dell is finally getting some butterflies that aren't the literal ghosts of Colton. Let the woman be happy.
I want her to be happy. But we have to look at the mechanics of how this relationship started. We saw the flashback.
Remind me.
Casey met Sam at the chess tables in 2024 and told him his future. Casey explicitly told Sam that he ends up with Dell.
Which is so cute. It gave him the confidence to pursue her.
No, it is a textbook bootstrap paradox. Let me explain this because it is terrifying. The classic example of a bootstrap paradox is the Beethoven theory.
Okay, I'm listening.
Imagine a time traveler goes back to the 18th century to meet Beethoven, but discovers Beethoven hasn't written any music. So the traveler gives Beethoven a book of all his future sheet music.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
Beethoven copies it and publishes it. The question is, who wrote the music? The traveler got it from Beethoven, but Beethoven got it from the traveler. The information has no origin. It creates itself out of nothing.
Okay, that actually makes my brain hurt. But how does it apply to Sam and Dell?
Because where did the love originate? Did Sam pursue Dell because he genuinely, naturally fell in love with her? Or did he pursue her because a time traveler handed him a script of his own future and told him it was his destiny?
Oh, wow.
It completely removes his free will. He is just acting out a play that was handed to him. And furthermore, Sam knows about the pawn now.
He does.
He knows the future. In the rigid laws of sci-fi narrative structure, the grounded, nice guy character who learns too much about the timeline, he is marked for death. I am calling it right now. Sam is in danger.
Stop it. Do not manifest that. Dell cannot lose another man. I refuse to believe that their love is just a temporal anomaly. Feelings are real, even if the spark was planted artificially.
You'll see. And let's not forget Danny's role in all of this.
Oh, Danny is so annoying.
Danny giving Jacob advice, but sounding incredibly bitter. He says, things always seem to work out for you.
The resentment was real.
Danny is deeply jealous of the Landrys. I fully believe Danny is the one sending Dell those threatening letters about knowing what she's hiding. He's a bitter local with a grudge, and he's looking for a way to tear them down.
Danny is definitely acting shady, I will give you that. He has that classic small-town resentment, but we need to look at how all these threads converge in the final 5 minutes.
The climax of the episode.
The pure panic of the clues, the piano, and the frozen pond.
Let's lay out the breadcrumbs chronologically.
Okay, go.
Kat meets 1979 Grandma Fern. Fern drops two massive cryptic hints. 1. Landry women are cursed when it comes to true love. 2. The key is the key.
And we immediately jump to the present day. A handyman is at Elliot's house fixing the sticky key on his piano.
The literal key.
And wrapped around the inside mechanism of that piano key is a piece of paper. It's the missing page from the Alice in Wonderland book that Tessa gave Fern back in 1925.
Now, on that page is a love letter from Cliff Kane to Fern, talking about wanting to live in the home with her.
So romantic.
This confirms the theory that Cliff is the grandfather, but it raises a massive red flag regarding temporal geography.
How so?
If this letter was hidden inside Elliot's piano, who hid it? Elliot's family owned that piano. Did Cliff hide it? Did Fern? And why was Cliff Kane completely erased from the Landry family history to the point where Colton didn't even know his grandfather's real story?
It's like his existence was wiped out. It's a complete erasure.
Exactly.
But then Kat tries to jump back to Elliot. She goes to the pond. And this is the moment that will haunt my nightmares.
The visual was stunning.
The pond is usually this bubbling, inviting, magical portal. It has this warmth to it, but it was dead silent. Not a single ripple. It literally froze over like a solid mirror.
It represents a hard stop to the narrative momentum.
And Kat looks down, and she doesn't see her reflection. She sees a terrified face looking UP at her from under the ice. Someone is trapped.
Claustrophobic nightmare fuel.
And to make it worse, the Historical Society finds a letter in the 1800s archive, but it's not written in quill and ink. It is a modern ink letter.
A massive anachronism.
A literal, frantic cry for help from someone in the present day who is trapped in the past.
And right as that happens, pay attention to the cross-cutting. Back at the farm, Dell gets hit with this intense, overwhelming wave of deja vu and drops her coffee mug. It shatters on the porch.
I was screaming, the timeline is breaking. Are they being erased? Is Dell dropping the mug because someone in the past just changed her history and her memories are resetting? Like the Mandela effect happening in real time.
You need to calm down and look at the logic.
Who is trapped under the ice? I am in a state of sheer panic.
Think about network security. The pond isn't broken, it's in lockdown. It is acting as a temporal firewall.
A firewall. How does that work with a magical pond?
A firewall monitors incoming and outgoing traffic based on predetermined security rules. If it detects a DDoS attack, a distributed denial of service, where a network is flooded with too many requests, it drops the connection and locks the ports to protect the mainframe.
Okay, I'm following.
Look at what the Landry family has been doing. Kat, Alice, Elliot, Tessa, Jacob, Casey. They are constantly jumping back and forth. They are bombarding the timeline with too many requests, pulling too many strings. The timeline is oversaturated with paradoxes.
Oh, wow.
The pond is frozen because it executed a zero-trust protocol. The portal is closed to protect the fabrics of reality.
But what about the modern ink letter in the 1800s?
Whoever wrote that letter, they are the malware. They're the anomaly that triggered the lockdown. They did something so catastrophic in the 1800s that the pond had to freeze to quarantine the damage.
But who is it? Is it Elliot? Is it Jacob? Is it Casey? If the pond is a firewall, that means there is no way home. They are literally stuck. And the face under the ice is that the person caught in the quarantine.
Precisely. And if Dell's deja vu is a symptom of a timeline correction, then reality is actively rewriting itself around them. We are watching the erasure of the Landry family history in real time. The mug shattering is symbolic of their reality fracturing.
I need another sip of this margarita immediately. My stress levels are off the charts.
Pace yourself.
The philosophical weight of all this is staggering. It makes me think about our own lives and the concept of regret.
Oh, segment 1. Here we go.
Yes, babes, it's time for our first segment. Time travel decision we would immediately regret.
I love this game.
If you had access to that pond, knowing how dangerous it is to change the past, what is the one time travel decision you would make that you know would immediately become a disaster?
Oh, this is a fascinating thought experiment. I would go back to 2012 to warn myself not to get those terrible, chunky blonde highlights.
Oh my gosh, I remember those.
It was a dark time for my hair, a real tragedy. But if I apply the rigorous butterfly effect logic we just discussed, if I didn't get those highlights, I wouldn't have worn a beanie every day for 6 months to hide them.
That's true. You lived in that beanie.
And because I wouldn't have worn that beanie, I wouldn't have bumped into the person at a coffee shop who consummated it, who eventually introduced me to my first major career connection.
Wow.
So, by saving my hair, I would have erased my entire professional trajectory. The timeline is too fragile to fix our vanity. What about you?
Oh, easy. I would go back to 8th grade. There was this one middle school talent show where I decided, for reasons entirely unknown to science or logic, to sing a Celine Dion song a cappella.
Oh no, that is brave.
It is a tragedy. I would jump in the pond just to pull the fire alarm and stop myself from walking on that stage.
I would pay money to see that performance.
But, knowing my luck and applying the same butterfly effect, pulling the fire alarm would somehow result in the sprinkler system destroying the gym, me getting expelled, moving to a different state, and accidentally making myself a complete social pariah in a new
The
town.
total domino effect.
I'd butterfly effect myself into becoming a hermit just to avoid 3 minutes of cringe.
Some things are just canon events.
Yeah,
You have to endure the terrible singing and build character.
exactly. We have to endure the cringe to become who we are. Which brings us to our second segment, most emotional moment.
There were a lot to choose from this week.
When I look at the emotional weight of this episode and the sheer trauma these characters are enduring to become who they are, I have to ask,
Right.
what was the absolute most emotional moment for you? We debated this earlier, but I want to lay it out for the Snark Squad.
Okay.
For me, it was Dell watching her wedding video. It was just so raw. The dramatic irony we discussed, watching her mourn a future she doesn't know is coming and a future we know will break her.
It was heavy.
Seeing her so vulnerable, holding on to Colton, it absolutely wrecked me. I was a mess.
It was a very poignant scene, I'll grant you that. But my pick is the most emotionally complex and psychologically damaging moment.
Which was?
Tessa violently rejecting Elliot in the 20s.
Oh, that was so hard to watch.
I appreciate the raw, messy reality of it. Tessa looking her adult son in the eye and saying, essentially, I didn't want you then and I don't want you now.
It's so cold.
That is a level of psychological damage that explains Elliot's entire personality. It explains his need for control, his obsession with the rules, and his eventual snap into the Tom Buchanan persona. It was brutal, it was dark, and it was fantastic storytelling.
You are so analytical about trauma.
I appreciate a well-crafted psychological break.
But you're right, it explains his entire character arc. And amidst all this trauma, we all need a grounding force, which is our third segment. The Comfort Character Award.
Drafting our real-life survival team.
Yeah. Exactly. If we had to draft someone from this show to our friend group, our comfort character, to navigate this chaos, I am picking Grandma Fern. Without a doubt,
Utterly predictable.
she is a cozy presence. She gives great advice. She drops vague, mystical riddles like the key is the key. And she clearly knows how to survive family drama while maintaining her peace.
She's fine.
Plus, I feel like she makes excellent baked goods. I want to sit on a porch with Fern, drink tea, and ignore the space-time continuum entirely.
I would lose my mind if someone only spoke to me in riddles. Just tell me where my keys are, Fern. Stop pointing at the sky.
Who is your pick, then?
My comfort character draft pick goes to Evelyn. Evelyn Goodwin.
The rich nemesis.
Exactly. Because she prioritizes her skincare routine even in 1979.
Okay, that was iconic.
When Alice shows up at the New Year's party, Evelyn's first thought is, you haven't aged. Drop the skincare routine. That is a woman of priorities.
She recognized a good glow.
Furthermore, she is the only person in this entire town actually using her brain. She recognized Kat on the film reel. She remembered the painting. Evelyn is sharp. She's wealthy, and she minds her business until it's time to drop a bombshell. She is an icon of observation.
Okay, fair point. Evelyn does have elite observation skills, but looking at Alice hitting pause on her life, deferring college, it makes me think we all need a reset sometimes.
A pivot, if you will.
Which leads us to our final segment, Monday Reset Challenge. Inspired by this episode, each of us is going to share one toxic or exhausting thing we are leaving behind this week and one positive energy we are bringing forward.
I will lead this one. Connecting it back to our earlier debate about rest. The toxic thing I am leaving behind this week is feeling guilty for staying in.
That's a good one.
If my phone is on Do Not Disturb and I'm on the couch staring at the wall, that is a boundary, not a failure. I am leaving the guilt behind.
Yes. Protect your peace.
The positive energy I am bringing forward is unapologetic couch time. If I am invited to a last-minute happy hour, the answer is a firm no. I am resting strategically.
I love that boundary for you. For me, the exhausting thing I'm leaving behind is people-pleasing. I'm not going to bend over backwards to accommodate everyone else's chaotic schedules.
Good luck with that.
No, I mean it. I am leaving the word yes behind when my nervous system is screaming no, and the energy I am bringing forward is setting hard boundaries.
Channeling your inner Evelyn.
I am going to channel my inner Tessa, minus the mob boss crimes and child abandonment, obviously, but just that energy of choosing what is best for me without apologizing.
A bold choice.
I challenge everyone listening to leave one heavy thing behind this week. Babes, you deserve the reset.
Just don't reset yourself into a 1920s bootlegging ring.
Exactly. Stay out of the past. Well, Biggs, our watermelon margaritas are officially melted, our brains are completely fried from time travel paradoxes, and we are officially terrified of bodies of water.
Honestly.
I am never looking at a pond the same way again.
I'm sticking strictly to chlorinated pools from now on. No magical firewalls there.
We want to express our genuine gratitude to you, the Snark Squad, for hanging out and surviving Monday with us. Analyzing this chaos together makes it so much fun.
It really is a joy.
But before we go, we have questions for you. Number 1, do you recharge alone or with people?
Number 2, what is your absolute favorite margarita flavor?
Number 3, what is your ultimate guilty pleasure to decompress after a stressful day?
And number 4, which character from this absolute mess of an episode did you connect with the most?
Yes. The comment section is our safe harbor. Drop your psychological assessments there.
We want all the theories.
And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this podcast with your messiest bestie. We need everyone dissecting this temporal firewall theory.
But as we leave you today, I want you to think about the true terror of the bootstrap paradox we discussed with Sam and Del.
Oh, leave him with a spiral.
If our future selves can influence our past, are we ever truly making our own choices? Or are we just actors hitting our marks in a play that was already written by a version of us we haven't even met yet? Who is actually holding the pen to your life story?
That is literally going to keep me up all night. Stay messy, stay delusional, and we will see you on the Snark side.